All right, bet. So, yo, let me ask, because I know I already went over with Josh and with Gij, kind of like subjects that we might want to talk about, and I'm gonna hit y'all with a different one here towards the end, by the way. Joker.
Yo.
Did you understand the subjects that we were talking about?
Yeah, I mean, it was basically about Will Smith slapping freaking Chris Rock, and what was it? Dave Chappelle, like, gets jumped in the stage, right? I saw that video too, and what was it? Johnny Depp and Amber Heard case trial that's going on at the minute. I've been up to date with that shit, bro. Come on, come on. Come on.
I can't with them, bro.
Bruh, yo, I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos, fam. Come on.
Yo, so hold on. Let's talk about that. Fuck, hold on. Okay, there we go. It was just someone CD that was killing me. Yo, so let's start real quick with that whole Johnny Amber Heard thing, because I wanted to ask you, Joker. Isn't there 2 lawsuits going on? One in Europe also for some random shit?
No, it was, and he lost that case. He lost that case at that point because there was not enough evidence, and then also certain things like, you know, during this whole Me Too movement, that shit that was going on. So the whole entire public and then, you know, the jury and everything that was going on sided with Amber Heard at that point. And basically, he lost the case at that point because there was not much evidence going on at all. That was one of the reasons. And there was another one that was in Australia, and he lost that case too.
Well, is the case that's going on right now in the States, is that the same shit as Europe, or is it a different situation?
It's all small little things that's added up to what's happening at this current point, right? So everything is linked, but it was in different time periods. So not much information was shed to light to the public, blah, blah, blah. And now, after all those cases has been, yeah.
Joker, I'm sorry to interrupt you, bros, but so who are these people and what's going on? Is it a defamation case for celebrities in Australia and the UK? They're going through the same thing?
That's what I thought. I thought it was defamation. I know in the States it's a defamation case, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. So is the defamation the same thing that happened over there in Europe? I'm gonna look this up while we talk.
It was more to do with something to do, like, I know the Australia one was something to do with the whole freaking Amber Heard's dogs and some bullshit like that, and then afterwards calling was some, you know, what do you call it, domestic violence situation that was going on. I wouldn't say it was a defamation case. It was more to do with the actual abuse itself.
Bro, I'll tell you what. Oh, my bad. What were you gonna say?
Yeah. No, carry on.
Oh, no. Appreciate you elaborating, because I don't know what the fuck's going on over there. So I appreciate you breaking it down.
Brett, like, I'll tell you, the more I actually listen to it, and I know I got a chance to talk like 10 minutes with Gij and Caveman here the other day, right? But the more I listen to the case, and the more I, you know, like now finding out, like, for example, they also had another legal case in Europe. And then the Joker's mentioning something about over in Australia. It's just like, it almost seems like a press tour to me, bro. Like, I don't want to like desensitize the situation, right? Because it's still a serious subject. But what is the point of trying to go through every judicial system you can think of? And like, is he just like, hey, this judge cleared no? You know, in the States, you can't be tried for the same thing twice for the same crime. So it's like, hey, we're going to another country and trying them there. Is that what's going on? Like, the fuck is happening?
So it was more to do with like the whole entire situation when, I don't know if you guys know much about the whole situation that was going on. So there was a point where Amber and Johnny's relationship went sour, right? And during this period, all of a sudden, out of the blue, when Johnny Depp was doing some movie premiere going on in Spain, I believe at this point, right? And during this period, Amber went into the police judge, some courtroom, and then afterwards filed for restraining order, right? So at the same time, while she filed for the restraining order, she called up her lawyer like, "Yo, I want a divorce too. I want a $7 million, along with it, plus a Range Rover, blah, 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 blah." And at this point, Johnny Depp is going through two different things. One is he's doing the movie premiere in Spain. He's going around doing his tour. Second thing, at the same time, his mom had passed away. So it was a very difficult situation. So it was a very difficult. What's up?
And third thing, he was cleaning up shit out of his bed.
Yeah, bro.
Dirty bitch.
Right, I just looked up. That's a $50 million defamation lawsuit here in the States.
Yes.
Damn.
So
It's a big chunk of change.
I think so. She filed for a divorce in 2018, I believe, right? And also put a temporary restraining order against him, accusing of him hitting her, right? So
Yeah,
all
true.
of this shit went off, and this was the height of Me Too movement that was going on at that point. Right? So naturally, anything comes to sexual abuse, domestic violence, everything like that, was just like, yo, this shit is way too off a scale. So let me just hand over she lied many periods during this point, and she knew how to get the temporary restraining order against him because she had all these things planned out. So the bitch went and filed a $7 million divorce case against him, and all this there was a lot of disputes going back and forth. That there was not much clear evidence, but over here in Europe, technically speaking, anything when it comes to domestic violence, anything comes to sexual violence, we take it very serious, right? Immediately, as soon as
We were talking about that the briefly 10 minutes that we got the other day. It's a fucking uphill battle for a guy to do any sort of domestic violence case or anything like that. Like, literally, guys are guilty until proven innocent. And I'm not trying to say that Depp is innocent specifically, or I'm not trying to side in any way, right? But that situation is a bitch, bro. Like, that's a bitch.
So while this was happening, over here there is a, how you call it? What do they call these newspapers that print out bullshit?
The tabloids.
Tabloids, yeah. There was a major tabloid newspaper over here called The Sun, right? If any motherfuckers listen or read.
The one that isn't that the one that actually named Johnny Depp by name, calling him a woman beater, and he sued them too, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like, directly.
That was the case that was going on over here in US, right? And he ultimately lost the trial.
UK even.
Because in UK. So there is a judge over here that said that the great majority of Heard's accusation of abuse, like word to word, what she's written over here is accusation of abuse could be proven to a civil standard, which means the abuse was more likely than not to have occurred, right? So based on that situation, he had ultimately lost that case. And
which is cuffed.
We were referring to.
Well, not even that. It doesn't help here either that one of Johnny Depp's ex-girlfriends, I got it here from the HT, it's the Henderson Times. It's the first article I just pulled up. They're saying that actor Ellen Barkin, who dated Johnny Depp in the 90s, testified against him it looks like this was published on the 13th of this month. So I don't know when she testified.
Oh, shit.
Testify, but it's
so she's testifying in the current trial?
Yes. So she's testifying against Johnny on Amber's side, saying that reports to Ellen subject testimony about Johnny's abusive behavior and recent incidents where she was allegedly subjected to abuse by Johnny's hand. Ellen has previously testified against Johnny in the British liberal trial in 2020, which he lost.
That's the one.
Saying
Johnny Depp is about to get, he's about to get Bill Cosby. It's a one-on-one accusation is already an uphill battle, and he might lose. But now 2 people claiming, almost making a history.
So
it was Johnny that sued. It was Johnny that sued Amber for 50 million.
Yes, and she countersued him for 100 million. So
yeah, she did countersue
at this point.
Because I was reading on this side real quick that she claimed herself to be a domestic abuse survivor. She never called Johnny by name, but the dates that she described were the times that her and Johnny were together. That's why he's going after defamation, because you know how the media is. They connected the dots and they're like, woman beater. And now he's suing.
Yeah. So as of now, that's going on. It's not looking good for Amber Heard. I'm telling you honestly, it's not looking good for her at all, because she is losing a battle which is a lose-lose for her, and it don't seem to be coming out in a good way for her in any way. It doesn't matter who's testifying, doesn't matter what information is going to come out to light, because the story is not making any sense to during the cross-examination of the witness, right? So Johnny Depp's lawyer, bro, I'm telling you right now, if I get in any kind of shit like this, I'm gonna hire that motherfucker. Doesn't matter if I go broke, right? Doesn't matter if I go broke, bro, he's gonna get paid.
He's the modern day Johnny Cochran, bro.
Yo, I'm telling you, this man is, there was a point where he wanted to get this thing dismissed from the court, right? He's threw facts after facts after facts, and the judge was there like, yeah, I can't do anything. Motion to dismiss, granted, take it. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. So I'm reading here that, did you know Johnny and Amber were already married once?
Yeah. They were married, got divorced, and I want to say it wasn't until like a few years after that they were divorced that the allegations started coming up. But this is after she'd already done Aquaman too.
Yeah, yes. So it says here, she got married in 2015, but divorced less than 2 years later, after Amber has claimed that Johnny was physically and sexually abusive towards her. So it's not that even there, that's why she got the divorce, but it's not even just claiming for physical abuse. She's also trying to claim sexual abuse as well.
Yeah, and you see that it's not working out well for her, because there was, during this trial, this defamation trial, a lot of information is coming out. Bro, his bodyguard did the most smartest fucking move on the fucking planet history by taking pictures, recording every single shit in hand, because he said that he knew that this fucking lawsuit or some kind of a legal battle was about to happen, right? So he and there is a voice recording, right, of Amber abusing the fuck out of Johnny, and she was sitting in
where she was saying were you talking about the one where she was sitting there, she's like, go ahead, take it to court, see if they believe you?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, bro,
also at the same time, she goes, there is a lie. All right, this is the funniest shit. Okay, this is the funniest shit.
It's wild.
She goes, Johnny, I was not punching you, I was hitting you. I'm like, hitting and punching still leads to physical activity. Right? So where are you standing here at this point? And then she went and defecated on top of his bed, right? And on top of that, look, it doesn't matter.
Hey man, can we just say you got to be unstable as shit to do that? I'm gonna throw it out there.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not trying to become one-sided again and all that, but to shit on somebody's bed, there's a lot of crazier shit you could have done before that. Like, keying a car is probably an easier option, to be real with you.
Or worst comes to worst, bricking the fuck out of the car, right? Just throwing
something. Slash the tire. Like, I'm sure he's got nice cars she could have fucked up, but shitting on his bed? Like, what's the mindset behind that? Clean that bitch. Like, what?
So how is somebody so unstable able to date someone like Elon Musk? Right? Isn't he gonna come up eventually in this case as a potential?
Huh.
His name was
So-
brought up.
Yeah, they tried.
Brought up, right? And it didn't work out for her. At the same time, it's not completely related to the case. However, there was one particular thing that
Wait, before you say that,
lawyer.
hold on. Before we get into the technical, I'm gonna answer your question as a guy.
Yeah.
We all know damn well you don't gotta be unstable to have fun. You feel me? We can have fun. That doesn't mean you're fucking getting a house key. You know? like I'm gonna just be real with you. There's a lot of unstable individuals out there. I'll say individuals because there's plenty of unstable guys too, right? There's plenty of unstable people out there. Whether you get hella involved with those individuals is another story, right? Now the whole Elon Musk, like I'm gonna be real with you. When I heard that she was talking with Elon Musk, I was just like, hey, homegirl went from somebody that gets 50 million a year to somebody higher. Like I get it. She's aiming up. Like I get it.
Hey.
But Elon, at the same time, she ain't got no fucking house keys. Yo, actually, I'm gonna be real with you. Elon sold all his properties years ago. That might have been because of her. I don't know. He might have been like, hey man, I ain't getting dragged through shit.
Hey, for all you know,
Shit. Literally shit.
For
But I mean, hey,
Right.
Elon must like Cleveland Steamers because I mean he's going after her. So even though she might not be unstable.
All I'm saying is maybe that's the reason why he's buying Twitter so he can shut her out. You know what I mean? Never mind. Fuck it. I don't want nothing to
Bruh.
do with this shit.
I mean, okay, so
Remember, bring back Trump, right?
no, I can't. Bro. Bring back Trump. He's gonna go get a hat. I promise you, he's gonna go get a hat.
Hey man.
Oh,
Hey man.
I mean-
it wouldn't be surprising if she goes and shits on Trump Tower. You know what I mean? On top of Trump Tower, like yo, pow.
yo, he actually has a Trump flag. Get me out. This motherfucker has a Trump flag.
Oh my God, Cheech, what the fuck, bro? Get me.
Oh my god. Okay. I want to flip the script real quick. So let's see about try to view it from the other side, right? Imagine this actress that just got done doing Aquaman did a pretty damn good job in Aquaman. By all means.
She did horrible. I think she did horrible. You know, each opinion.
No, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Her acting in court was horrible. Aquaman was decent in comparison.
True.
But-
In comparison,
Bro, from what I saw in the court videos, I was like, there's no way she's a fucking actor, bro. Is that the same girl? No shot. Or maybe it's so real that it looks fake. I don't know. But
no.
But I will say-
there was a point while she was doing that whole acting thing, bro. She stopped, looked at the camera like this, and then.
oh, you're talking about when she posed? Yo, she went to sneeze and then stopped.
And just stopped and just looked that way and then came back out like, yo, I'm fine, you know.
Man. No. But what I was gonna say is, think about it from the other side, right? Now, I can understand, like, let's say in my example, I can understand what I'd be a little bit biased because I grew up watching Johnny Depp. Like, this motherfucker's been out here since Edward Scissorhands. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
Like, he's a GOAT in the movie industry. But let's say if he wasn't Johnny Depp, let's say he was a nobody, like us, right? Just a normal person. And now let's say, but let's say,
The clink.
well, that's what I'm saying. If he was a normal guy like us, and his girl, which happens to be an actress, says he is a woman beater, would we be viewing?
Throw him away. He made her crazy. He made her shit the bed. It's all his fault.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, would we here in this conversation still view it the same?
Not even that. We wouldn't even be hearing about it, and we would have never known it was going on.
Right.
True.
He said
And on-
we would have been talking about Dave Chappelle.
No, but I mean, hey, I mean, you know, I was reading on something too. 'Cause, I was reading something yesterday, and I just found it again. So, I have a question to ask.
Okay.
Do you believe when a woman says something like those and those types of allegations? Do you believe all women?
Um, the first.
Here's the thing. Oh yeah, go ahead and say your pieces, guys, because I have a tricky thing here.
No. Just
So-
I just want it's just a yes or no, just real quick, because I got to keep going on this.
It's-
Real quick.
Okay, so a simple yes or no.
Yeah.
I'm always gonna say no. For everybody, I'm gonna say no. Like, even if a guy says, "Hey man, she did this shit," like if my homeboy comes up to you, bruh, my girl just keyed my car. I'm in my mind, I was like, wonder why. So I don't know. I don't know what happened. You feel me? I can't assume. Innocent until proven guilty. Like, but that's not the mentality that most people have, though. But I'm gonna say no. What do you say, Caveman and Joker?
For me, it's more like the way they say it to me, the story, right? Like I try to read people beforehand, like the way they tell me the story, because I'm like, sometimes some people just chat shit, and you can easily clock it instantly. Like, yeah, you're chatting shit, bro. Come on.
I got you. So like, if they sell you on the story, is what you're saying.
Yeah. What about you, Caveman?
Yeah, it depends who it's coming from, right? If it's somebody that's like repeatedly calling wolf or is repeatedly in some drama and shit, you may not be initially like believing them, everything they say. You know what I'm saying? Like, you kind of may think about it. If it's a stranger that they just come up to you and say, "Hey, I'm being raped, help me," then you know what I'm saying? It just depends the situation, and it depends.
That's a good point, because even though that is a drastic example, you would give the individual benefit of the doubt and then sort out the details later. Yeah.
All right. So one of our beloved comedians goes by the name of Chris Rock.
Right.
All right. He his recent show, he was just joked about cancel culture, and also, quoted some other stuff, but he said, believe all women, except Amber Heard.
Oh, he said that? And what is his reasons?
I didn't even know this.
He says,
I didn't even know this. I'm hearing
and
this.
I'm just quoting. So I'm just quoting here. He says, "What the fuck is she on? She shits in his bed. She's fine, but she's not fine. She shits in his bed. Once you shit in someone's bed, you are guilty of everything." She's shitting in his bed. What the fuck is going on there? Wow. And they had a relationship after that. It must be amazing, pissing people off. I've been with some crazy bitches, but god damn. So Chris Rock legitimately just roasts Amber Heard.
Well, I guess it's important to mention real quick that is a skit, right? Like, it's meant to be funny.
It's meant to be funny.
Let's just preface that. Yeah, go ahead. Keep going.
But it's meant to be funny, but at the same time, yes, he is roasting Amber Heard. But the first lines that I read there, believe all women except Amber Heard. So is this a guy trying to stick up for another guy that's getting accused of some shit from an unstable woman? Or is this him literally saying, "Yo, bitches are crazy, but I don't believe, I believe all women, but the facts are there. Once you shit in somebody's bed, you do this, you do that. Are you really that unstable?" But this was also, and I'm just gonna say this too, this is also coming after, and on the same show, he also talked about shit with Will Smith after getting slapped. So has he finally just had enough of it? And finally just actually
I think
letting loose?
Going off the rails?
I think it's just like story to story basis. I mean, I think that's what he's trying to say, is like, listen, that woman is unstable as fuck, right? And nothing that happens, like, but however, do not categorize herself in the same kind of a domestic violence survivor. Do you know what I mean? That's what I think, that's the message that he's trying to put across, because some people out there have suffered through a lot, man. Some women out there have suffered through a lot. So I think what he's trying to say is, do not put her in the same category as them, because she is fucked up.
Oh, that's what I mean.
She's fucked up.
But again, too, and this is where I'm just gonna say it too, is he also finally just had enough? And after, like I said, after that slap, people give him criticism by not kind of clapping back at Will Smith afterwards. Like, he hasn't, it's been what, 4 months now since the slap?
Has it?
He's
No shot. I feel like that shit was
Nah,
like
it's
last month.
4 months.
It was
Wait, what?
last month, bro. Come on.
Was it?
It can't be like, yeah, it can't be 4 months.
Yeah.
Can't be fucking
I
4
thought those
months.
had,
There's no
I thought
way.
three or
that did
4
not
months. I thought that happened in
January.
February.
No.
Nah.
No, definitely not. Because February was when my daughter was born, bro.
Yeah, it was
Definitely
after
not.
that. Like I swear to God, it happened somewhere around March or April, right? Something like that. Like beginning of April, mid-March, I don't know, somewhere between that time frame. I wouldn't say it happened like 4 months ago. No chance. I don't see it anyway.
March 27th. Those March
Yep,
27th.
March
There
20.
you go.
Yep,
There you go. March
it was in March.
27th.
Yeah.
So like a month and a half ago, ish.
Yeah.
Ish.
But I mean, like, seriously, like, you know, I just feel sorry for the people, to be honest, at this point, like, who's actually survived through domestic violence, sexual abuse, all of these kind of pain that they are actually felt, for her to capitalize on it and for her to try and win this freaking trial just to use that as a thing, I think it's despicable in any ways, in any means. For any woman who tried to do that, that is a way despicable fucking
Sorry.
thought.
Sorry.
I mean, you bring up a great point. The fact that it's going to be impossible to say like 100% of them are right, you know, because there are some vindictive people out there. But it is kind of fucked that she's giving all women that make these allegations almost like a bad name because of the stigma that she's getting brought upon herself, you know? Like, it's almost like, hey, if this case doesn't go the way, like her way, right? How is that going to affect other women speaking up, right? Are they just going to get called Amber Heard? Like, chill the fuck out, Amber Heard, you know? Like, how's that going to affect everybody?
You're getting hurt.
It's not nice, man. It's not a nice situation for them, and I don't think I hope at this point, if whatever information that came during this trial point, and then if it is actually true on her behalf, saying that she fabricated certain things, she lied about certain things, I mean, there's evidence out there. I don't even have to explain because it's all, you know, shown in this court trial at this point. And I hope she loses. I mean, at this point, I really hope she loses to this point, and Johnny Depp gets what he gets. Do you know what I mean? So
I mean, in all honesty, at this point, and this is gonna sound really savage of me, but I really just don't care who wins. I just want it to be over, man. Because it's just when you're hearing about it, you're hearing about it all day,
every day.
All you're reading about is this and that. Like, dude, you said he's already lost it one time in London. He's already lost it one time over in Australia. He's doing it. They're doing another court case in America. It's kind of like, dude, we get it. You know, you're getting called a woman beater. Man up. And yeah, it's not nice for you. But if you haven't won twice now, what's saying you're gonna win the third time?
Yeah, but then again, geez, like you gotta understand, right? Like, let's just say you get accused of something, right? You get accused of something, and you're in this kind of, put yourself in his position, right?
Oh no, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. If I get accused of something and I didn't do it, I want everybody to, you know, I want people to know that I didn't do it. But if you already have lost twice.
Just because you lost the first trial and the second trial, and bearing in mind these are the two different countries with two different lawsuits and two different kind of a legal jurisdiction, right? It doesn't mean that back in US, right, all this information that's gone past the first trial, second trial, everything like that, which was not available to the public, which is not available to a mass media out there, now everything is coming to light. And now you have a very good, solid chance of winning with that information. Wouldn't you, as an accuser of something who's been labeled something, would try to win it back? I mean, look at it this way. His whole entire career is based on acting, right? And the fact is that his
visual representation, like the way people view him, is his moneymaker.
Yeah.
That's definitely a little bit interesting.
Well, it is.
Yeah,
but at
and
the
not
same
only
time,
that,
though,
like-
isn't this court case to anybody else starting to literally feel like a TV show?
Yeah.
I mean-
well, the media involvement 100%
Yeah.
gives it that
Yeah,
feeling.
To me, it doesn't even seem like it's actually a real thing. It's almost like it's almost like they're getting paid to sit here and just have a
Bro, they get paid.
court TV show, and that's honestly what it's starting to feel like.
It is. It's true. They do get paid for it, and that's the fact. That's the main, what do you call it, interest behind it to the mass public, right? Because you know that this kind of things gets you clicks on the newspaper, the tabloid articles, the videos that's going to emerge from it. You know, they're going to make revenue out of all of it, but you can't like put a dot on it and say, oh, it's mainly to make money out of it, because at the end of the day, people are going to exploit, just like how we are sitting here right now and we're discussing this situation. You know, and that's the whole entire basis on this video at this point, right? So
I'm sorry,
go on.
Joker. While you guys say that, I just hope that this whole thing brings attention to people's mental issues. You know, if something's going on, like she has these issues going on, she's bipolar, has multiple personality disorders. I hope this brings light to that so people can get help. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like, it's just a media circus. It's just to, honestly, like, I feel like to distract us from all the bullshit that's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's a war going on.
About to.
People getting bombed. Yeah.
I was about to say the same thing. Like, look at it this way right now. The media has focused so much onto this particular things, like all these bullshit things that's going on at this point. There is one thing that's happening in the world, which is an actual crisis, and that's happening in Europe, and no one's paying attention to it anymore. Just like when the Ukraine shit started, right? Between Russia and Ukraine shit started, we don't pay no more attention to COVID shit anymore, right? But every single time, right? Every single thing at that point was only talked about COVID and only talked about Russia and Ukraine, and only talking about Amber Heard and Johnny Depp.
Well, it's not even just that. It's not even just that. It's people also. You gotta remember this too. Is they needed some distraction because people are also looking outside, looking at their gas pumps, and literally in one day, man, I watched. It was at 4:48. All right.
Yeah, bro. I just feel
by noon, I watched it go to 469. By 3 o'clock, I watched it go to 487. So it changed literally three times in less than a 5-hour period. So
bro, I literally just spent $60 for 10 gallons worth of gas, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's,
you know
what I mean? And then that's what it's doing it. But see, people are all, now here's another thing, all right? And it's going to just be short and sweet for me, just to kind of push away from the Amber Heard stuff for a second. All right.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm done talking about that anyway, to be real with you.
Yeah.
Like, it gets depressing after a bit. Like, it's...
Yeah. So the issue that I have with our gas stuff, all right, and this is just for us in America, Joker, and I can ask you about it, how you can see from an outside looking in. We have a few fixes that us Americans can do, but it makes us look like shit if we do it. Okay, so we have a pipeline. We have a pipeline that we just shut down recently when Joe Biden got elected. Part of his Green Deal that he wanted, it was a pipeline that went through a Native American reservation. They called it sovereign ground. They wanted it shut down. When they shut down this pipeline, we were at the brink of total fuel efficiency as a country. Now, to become total fuel efficient is amazing because we're not relying on other countries like Iran, Iraq, Russia, anything else for oil. Now, we were buying at one point before this war started with Ukraine and Russia, we were buying over 700,000 gallons of oil from Russia a day.
Wow.
A day. Now, that pipeline would make 826,000 gallons of oil a day. So in my eyes, yes, you're gonna hurt people by opening this up. There's gonna be people that are pissed off. That's all you're gonna do is just throw money out. Money don't fix everything. They want to keep their land the same, which I understand. That's the hard part. Now, the American people in Texas and in some parts of Tennessee and some other places where we do drill our own oil, they can lift that seize order that they have for drilling in our own national parks. And we can retain up to 300,000 gallons of oil a day. That's our own pump, to drop the cost that we buy, which would drop the cost of fuel. Now, that's not saying all these independent companies like ExxonMobil, Shell, and all these big corporations, they're still buying overseas oil. They're not just buying United States oil. So they have all their back doors where they have it shipped in on tanker trucks and blah, 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 blah. But it would dramatically drop our price. So in my eyes, yes, it's a Green New Deal. Yes, we should stop, we're hurting the earth. But at the same time, it's, why do the American people need to hurt in their pockets? There's some families that now can't even afford to drive to the grocery store. I live in the countryside, that there is no public transportation, there is no cabs, there is no Uber. Now they're going hungry because they can't afford fuel to go to the grocery store, or they freeze during the winter because now house oil or house fuel is at almost $5 a gallon. So at the same time, I'm a big advocate of opening up these oil rings to stop this price drop. But
I mean, I'll be real with you.
I
was gonna say, there's a lot of opportunities to get resources here from the United States. Just to kind of go on this little tangent real quick, because for example, Florida, they could easily be drilling off of the coast of Florida. There's plenty of resources to get. But it's one of those things, for example, in 2018, when Trump wanted to start drilling off of the coast of Florida, the governor at the time, Roy something was his name, Roy Cooper, if I'm not mistaken, he said, no, not on our coast. So it was heavy resistance,
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about a little subject here. Let me veer off on a totally random subject here, if you guys don't mind, right?
Yeah.
So speaking of distractions, speaking of shit that happens, speaking of the media kind of directing the narrative.
Diverting.
Yeah. So we all know it's based off of ratings. We all know it's one of those things that, hey, we're going to keep selling this story until our numbers go down, and then we're going to switch to a new story, right? That's why they sold COVID on the media for the longest. And now that people are getting used to COVID, they're like, all right, that's not making us any money anymore. We gotta sell some other spicy shit, right? Did you guys hear about what literally just happened over the weekend?
Oh, yeah. This is in regards to the shooting that happened?
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
On Saturday, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
The tops.
So Josh, tell me what you know about it.
Man.
Tell me what you know about it. What have you heard from it?
Dude, honestly, I just I saw the news article pop up and I ignored it, bro, because this shit is just too rampant here in America. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I know that it's happened a couple times in UK at that Ariana Grande concert. Somebody went up there with bombs or whatever the fuck. But that shit doesn't happen over there like it happens here. So then I was talking to my brother-in-law, and he said that the dude live streamed it, and he had a GoPro on, and he was just sniping people left and right. And it's sad to see because, now we're living in a time where we're connected. We're talking to Joker, and he's out in the UK. You know what I'm saying? 30, 40 years ago, that wouldn't have been possible. You know what I'm saying? But I could see his face, I could hear his voice. It's crazy. It's amazing. But the thing is that people can use that to just spread, just hate, man. That's just a horrible thing that happened. And you know, I don't know when it's gonna stop, man.
Oh no, the
like
internet, man.
what
I'm gonna tell you right now, the internet is the best invention, but the worst invention never made.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword.
It is a double-edged sword. I agree. So what? Like, let me get the way Josh was explaining to me. Let me ask you this, Josh. So you basically, the way you said it is like, are you desensitized towards it when you just looked at it and be like, yo, I'm not going past that shit. Fuck it, I can't be bothered.
Yeah, man.
Like out of sight, out of mind sort of vibe.
Yeah, like it's like, damn, like by me reading it, what the fuck am I gonna do? You know what I'm saying? It's just sad.
Yeah.
Like I just found out, like, honestly today, you know, that I read the headline today. So that should happen yesterday, bro. That's why, like, I just don't even want to watch the news. You know, the media controls the narrative. They want to put out this narrative, what's going on. And yeah, maybe this is not part of the narrative. This is just something random that happens. But I'm a huge believer in vibes and what I'm going to fill my time and my life with. And I feel like sometimes it's just, you know, we got this Amber Heard situation thing, then we got the Will Smith thing, and then we got shootings, and we got the gas, Ukraine. And sometimes I'm just like, get all that shit away from me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we are desensitized, man. It's like,
So, like,
it should be a shock.
so-
you know, the president should be on TV talking about this, you know? It's not.
So I will give you
The
a
president
quick,
can't. The president can't even talk himself to sleep.
So,
The fuck you mean?
Jesus.
Yeah, right? Exactly, bro. Like,
Right,
fuck.
That fucking
man.
puppet can't do nothing.
let me give you an insight onto exactly what happened with me. So I didn't know anything about it until this morning, right? My time, which is around, I would say about 6 o'clock in the morning, right? So which will be about gone past midnight for you guys, I would say, because you're like 6 or 7 hours, because right now it's 9 o'clock for me, so I don't know what time it is for you over there. So I read this article at 6 o'clock in the morning. Like, I woke up because my body just decided to wake up, right? And I couldn't go back to sleep at this point. So I decided, why not? I'll make a cup of tea, do my usual morning routine, right? So then I went on a shitter, right? Not gonna lie to you. The first thing I opened up while I was on the shitter was Twitter, right? So when I opened up Twitter and I'm scrolling to all of this, I'm just seeing bare quoted tweets coming along, right? Left, right, and center, that there was a shooting going on. This is a mass shooting going. Something happened during live stream. This and this happened. And then afterwards, this person was targeted the low end poverty side of the, low income community and shit like that. And honestly, the first thing that came into my head at this particular point after reading this is they're like, oh, here we go again. America's got another shooting. Surprise, surprise. What happened to the gun law? Right? What happened to the fucking gun law? Like,
Hold on. It's not the gun law, because the shooter was not from the area.
No,
the
no.
shooter
I
was from out of
understand
state.
No, I understand, Deej. What I'm saying is, you see, because you got such an open welcome to having guns, right, in your country, right? People, even if he's not coming from within the country, even if he's coming from outside the country, he knows he's accessible to that. He's got access to it, right? Hook or crook, he's got access to it. I'm not saying that over here you can't get hold of guns. You can, but it's so difficult to get hold of it. People already lose their fucking goddamn interest on it, right?
Yeah, but so the thing of it is, there is a thing, but then you're also, if you try, this is where this is also a massive gray area, because it's not, okay, so I'm gonna tell you two things. One, guns don't kill people. People kill people.
That's true.
Okay,
yeah, that's true.
That's number two. Number two is, we have a thing here in America, and it's the Second Amendment. We have the right to bear arms, no matter. Now, they do the thing. So hold on. They do the thing where they do all the health checks, But there are some states, like Florida, for instance, and Texas, that you don't have to go through these strenuous processes. Not like you do here in New York State. All right. I can go to the store. I have to wait 2 days to pick up my weapon. Even if I went and bought a shotgun yesterday, let's say, right? I picked it up, and then I go back to the store the next day. I actually have to wait an additional 4 days now to pick up my next weapon, because it's in that process.
That's to prevent impulsive buys and stuff like that.
Players.
But I will
But
say,
now
like,
they're going
in,
to Florida.
yeah, in
I don't think they
Florida,
do that.
as long as it's a large rifle, all you got to do is 18 and have a clean history, and they'll do a background check on the spot and be like,
See,
all right.
see, that's the thing. Like over here, right? Let me just make it clear. We have knife crimes more than the gun crimes, and the knife crimes is like fucking ridiculous. Like there's always somebody over here. Like yesterday, I was walking in the middle of the fucking street, and just in my city center at like broad daylight, 11 o'clock. 12 o'clock in the afternoon, just outside the store that I usually hang around and go around and buy shit from, like video games, for example, right? Got stabbed 3 and the blood pool everywhere, right? And then the whole entire police just taped off, red taped the whole entire thing. Is they like, you can't enter. But that's the kind of like thing that I am used to. So I'm desensitized. Like you guys are desensitized to gun crimes, I'm desensitized to knife crimes, right? So it should. I've been stabbed before, right? I've been stabbed before, and that was when I was 16, right? And I at the end of it, yeah, I got stabbed. At that time, me being 16, I had a little for bravado, so I got my tempers raised up very high, and I broke the guy's arm, and then I collapsed after that, right? So luckily, there was people nearby who came and held me, and they did whatever they could do to keep me up. And then afterwards, they are civil arrest kind of a thing to the other guy until the cops came up and everything like that. So I'm very desensitized to knife crime. I mean, unfortunately, knives are one of those things where we use it on a day-to-day. Like every single person uses it day-to-day, right? But guns.
I was gonna say, let me blow your mind a little bit here. I wanna keep off of that mindset of desensitized, right? And I just want to preface what I'm about to say with the fact that I'd never in a million years thought I would think this way, right? But let me ask you, have any of you got a chance to actually watch the video of the shooting? We're not going to show it on here, obviously, for explicit reasons. But have you gotten a chance to watch it?
But I never seen the video.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't watch the video. I read the
So Jeej might agree with me here that because he was wearing a GoPro, because he was running around with a gun, it was first person view. It was a very, very scary resemblance to a video game. And it was very, very scary. I'm talking about, I've always been of the type that it's like, video games don't promote violence. Like, are you crazy? Like, obviously mental health issues can arise and everything, but like, video games don't promote violence. But as somebody that was a full-time Twitch streamer for over 3 years, the fact that somebody went on Twitch, broadcasted this horrible act, and it took, granted, Twitch took it down in 2 minutes, within 2 minutes from the moment that the violence started, right? Because he started his stream off by, going random places, just kind of talking with people and stuff, like a lot of streamers that go out and about do. And shout out to Twitch for stopping it at a very, very quick pace compared to, previous incidents, God forbid, that we've all seen on live TV that haven't been stopped in time, right? Mm-hmm. But it was honestly, as a used to Twitch, full-time Twitch streamer, it was honestly very heartbreaking to see that go down on Twitch. It was very surreal, especially being a dad now, that I'm like, yo, I don't like that easily looks like somebody that blurred the lines between video games and reality, right? Like, that really does feel like, and again, this is more towards the mental balance of the individual that did the act or whatever. But that line that got blurred, me watching that video, I was like, this is too surreal. Mm-hmm. Like, this is the first time in my life that I look at that and I'm like, that honestly reminds me of shooting games like Call of Duty. That reminds me Like, you guys remember Call of Duty Modern Warfare back in the day?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You remember there was a scene at the airport where you would shoot the civilians?
Yes.
Yeah.
The no Russian scene?
Yeah.
That's what
Yes.
that reminded me of. Just one person going ham shooting innocents. And it was just so surreal. I'm like, yo, I never side with the whole video games did this, but I feel like that individual did it on purpose on a video game, a predominantly video game platform, because of that. Like, you get me? Like, most people that have a Twitch account because they're gamers, right? Like, you don't see, like a random chef that isn't too much into video games do it. Nowadays, maybe a little bit, right? The lines have blurred. But the fact that he did it with a GoPro and everything, it's almost like he had the intent of doing this whole, I'm going to do Call of Duty in real life and show people the first person.
Well, I'm gonna blow your mind on this one. Oh, go ahead, Kev.
My bad, dude. I want to use an example because I have myself seen a shooting go down. When I was 18, I moved out to California. That's where I'm originally from. So my parents moved us here to Florida, and then when I was 18, I thought I had some balls and I moved back to Cali, right? So my cousins went to pick me up from the airport, and we're gonna drive to go get some food. And I'm at a red light, right? And my cousin's driving. I'm in the front passenger seat, and I see a truck pull up in the median, right? And he started talking to some dudes that were on this corner store, right in front of us. And all of a sudden, a dude pulls out a gun and shoots these guys, right? Like, it was in the middle of the night, so it was kind of late, but just in the street, bro, just shot them like dogs, right? And then drove off. So apparently, what it was a gang shooting, right? It was initiation. Mm-hmm. And that's just shit that goes down here, there in California, here in America. But what I think it is, man, it's just a bunch of people that feel marginalized, that feel like they're hurting, so they want to cause as much hurt and pain that they can to somebody else to feel better about themselves. That's what I think.
I understand that mentality, yeah.
And then of course you do it in a way that's familiar to you, like you are playing these games for countless hours out of the day. I think I'm the oldest one here, and I remember back in the day, we used to go outside and play, it was before
I used to go outside and play.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you, it's an American thing, bro, because I see kids nowadays, they're in their rooms, they're wasting away. You know what I'm saying? They're not involved like,
a different age.
Funnily enough, as you're saying this, my girlfriend's family, right? So my girlfriend's sister's kids, right? Yesterday we were chilling around and everything like that, right? The first thing these kids came up and says, like, "Can I have your phone?" Why? Because I want to play games, right? I just looked at my girlfriend. I was there like, seriously, like, come on, man, like, no, go play. You've got a freaking garden, right? Even if you don't want to go in the middle of the street, go. You got a garden. You've got plenty of things that you can do. Just go. Stop being inside the house. They were cooped up in that room, bro. They were wanting to watch movies. They wanted to be on their iPads. They wanted to be on their phones. And I'm like, yeah, they lost hope at this point. There's no coming back from it.
So I got something here as I'm reading on here now. This is from ABC. So they're gonna be a little bias heavy on it.
Okay.
They're saying that they're using terms of, instead of just saying 10 victims killed, they go along lines of saying 10 black victims killed.
What?
Yeah. All 10 who were victims who died in the attack are black. 6 females, 4 males, ranging from the ages of 32 to 86.
The article that I read, it said that the person specifically targeted the low-income community.
Nope.
Did not say
right
black, white, whoever it is.
No, I'm saying, but I'm saying this is what ABC News is saying.
Right,
it's not that. So this is what I'm trying to say. So they're categorizing and
they're spinning it as a hate crime.
And that's what they're saying, that it was a hate crime because he also, on the gun he had, where'd it go? On his weapon,
He had hateful words written on there,
Yeah, just give me a second.
like hard R.
He had a manifesto.
Yeah,
He had a
like
manifesto.
it was written on the side, but then on the front sides,
Oh, right here.
because he he had his sights, and on the front sides he actually had the N word with a hard R just written on there too. Now I'm
18-year-old.
go ahead.
18-year-old male suspect is in custody. Police said the shooter live streamed this Saturday afternoon an attack on social media, and it was an attack on social media and etched the names of previous mass shooters in racial. I can't even pronounce the word EPITHETS. On the gun he allegedly used to carry out the attack. The source's family is with the investigation. So he just also didn't have racial slurs or all this other stuff on the gun. He also had
Other shooters on there and everything.
So this is what's going on. So they're saying that 10 people died, 3 people are injured, but he shot a barrage of 50 shots. So to me, if how I look at it and understand it, I wouldn't classify it really as a hate crime. I would, but there's a couple little steps that I can branch off to it. One, if you shoot 50 shots, you're not aiming to kill just specific people. You see what I mean? You're firing 50 shots. If you hit somebody, you hit somebody. You kill somebody, you kill somebody. Whatever.
See, I wonder if they even watch the video, God forbid. Because I'll be honest with you, it's a bit traumatizing. I wouldn't recommend people look it up, right? But so out of all the people shot, if you watch the video, the first person shot was a white person. They took 3 to the face and to the chest. Just clap, clap, clap. No hesitation. And it's sad, right, that it all went down, but I also feel like the media immediately jumps to racism and hate crime. That doesn't mean that he wasn't motivated by that, right? But to immediately say it, like, yo, like 13 people shot, 11 were black, 2 were white. Like, I get it. I get where they're making these leaps. I get that it's going to sell a better story, probably going to get clicked on a little more, etc., right? It's probably going to trigger a lot of discussions in their comments and shit like that. But isn't that kind of scummy for media outlets to try and spin a story out of a tragedy just to get more clicks?
It is. But here's my thing.
It's
the
media's thing, bro.
But here's my thing. They're saying that he was heavily tactical geared. So he was wearing a level 4 body armor with body plates. So he was also wearing a tactical helmet. He had tactical goggles. He had gloves, pants, boots. He was in full tac gear, full SWAT gear. And
he definitely had more than one clip, because sadly in the video you can see him reload and keep going before it gets shut down.
He had tactical vests that he was so. And here's my mind as an 18-year-old kid, to say if he is actually 18 years old, he may be maybe 19, whatever. What gets me on it is, as Americans, we do have these weird threats, or not threats, but these weird groups that live in America, right? You have your civilists, you have your hate groups, you have all these other ones. These hate groups and these I call them civilists, but they're more like the ones that they're ready to revolt against the government at a word's notice. They're kind of like our version of Minutemen. All right.
I gotcha.
And
social media has made it for them to be able to connect with each other,
and that's
more than ever before.
So you have this kid who's probably gotten in line with these hate groups or these other groups, but I'm gonna throw a word out there to you, and this is probably gonna tickle Caveman's curiosity on this. Was this an act of a hate group, or was this another like branch off for some type of weird conspiracy with like someone like the Illuminati or any of those that they had to have the kid? Because here's the thing, the kid gave up. If he was in that big of riot gear, or even that big, that tacked out, and he had clips, he had bullets, he was there to fight. So what made him give up?
He met his quota.
He met his quota. Now, here's the thing. The people that got him were only 2 county sheriffs. They rolled up that were on patrol. SWAT wasn't even there yet. So it was 2 county sheriffs that arrested him. So in my eyes, I'm like, if he was all that tacked out, man, he would have tacked out those officers and kept going and went to the next section. If he was that crazy and there was something that wrong with him.
You're not wrong. It definitely gets a little weird.
Well, the more
when
you
it comes to that,
about it, the more it's you start questioning a lot of things, right? You start questioning. Like when I look at some video, I start questioning his legality behind it. Like, is it true? Is it not true? What's happening? This, that, and everything. So you have that kind of a similar mentality when watching this, and you'll be like, hold on a minute, right? So there was 2 people who were white and 11 people who were black. But then there was only 2 police officers that arrested him. Bro, if that shit happened over here, right? I'm not lying. You'll see about 7 to 8 police cars, a big riot van ready to get this motherfucker straight down. Doesn't matter who he is, what race he's from. He's ready to take down, right?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. SWAT and everything. Like I see that things here that SWAT was on its way. But I remember, it's not like I can't find it in this one, but it was, it said it was 2 sheriffs that rolled up, that were on patrol, that were in the area and responded to the gunfire at the tops. So, and that's what blows my mind. Like I said, he was full out tag. He was ready to go to war. Like he was walking into that tops dressed like a United States soldier, tacked out, ready to kick in some doors. Like, you know what I mean?
And then he just randomly gives up to 2 cops.
Just randomly goes on his knees and starts taking off his tag gear after only shooting 50 rounds, killing like 13 people.
Like
I mean, it's safe to say only, but you know what I mean? Not like that.
Like comparing these kind of things, like I'll give you an example.
Bro, if that shit would have been Texas or Florida, half of that shopping center would have been armed and fucked them up.
Yeah.
No,
like
that's the thing.
The manager would have had at least a shotgun at the office. Like it's I see where you're coming from, that it definitely gets a little suspicious. And I will say it's definitely not. I've heard comments from the African American community that has caused a little bit of revolt in the situation. Like the whole, like, yo, this kid kills all these black people and he gets taken in unharmed peacefully. Where if it would have been other situations, like I saw comments on Twitter stating if he was African American, if he was Latino, they would have shot first and asked questions later.
Yeah, I saw that actually. The same comment that you're referring to, Window. I actually saw that because I think you liked that comment and it just popped up on my timeline immediately. Like, yo. So I looked at it. I was there like, at this point, me being here, right? If something that's not surrounding me and some, you know, within my community, I'll be like, goddamn, like, you know, for real, like, that sounds about right in America. Not here, but sounds about right in America.
It's true. It's about opportunity. You know?
He was shot.
Guns.
He was shot?
Say that again, Josh.
Was shot. He was shot twice. There was a security guard in the tops. Again, they have security. Like when you start getting some of those low income places like that, start getting into quote unquote the hoods. All right. They have security officers at some of these tops, especially how our country is going right now, how there's food shortages. People can't freaking pay for anything because, you know, everything's so damn expensive. He was a retired cop. And he put two rounds into him before he was gunned down. But the thing of it was, well, I remember reading on another article that apparently the officer says they couldn't even see his face. There was no skin color showing until he started peeling back tack gear. So they didn't know it was a white male. until the video.
don't know.
We all know, we all did because of the live stream. Don't get me wrong, we all knew it. But I'm saying when the police arrived, they didn't. Remember saying that they didn't know because of the tack gear. They didn't know he was a white male. Everything was covered up. He had, like I said, he had the gurney, the face mask. He had the helmet. Everything was covered up to the point where you couldn't tell. So
Like, I mean, I can't.
Which
I mean, to be
I'll be
honest
real with you. If you ever see like seeing an 18-year-old decked out like that, committing a crazy crime like this, like I hate to go back to it, but doesn't that make you think like, yo, why was he dressed like that? Could it be video game related? Because in video games, you get all decked the fuck out. If it were actual real military man, they wouldn't even have near that much armor to do damage. You get me?
Let me ask you
it's
this
level
one.
4 to level 5, level 5
Wait,
plating.
wait. Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Joe.
How many mass shootings have been perpetrated by a minority? Can you look that up? Is there?
I can find the statistic while we chat.
4 in my head that I can think of.
Okay, because I remember there was a one in Houston, the guy that focused on cops. I remember that happened like 5-6 years ago. But majority of the time, I hear that it's perpetrated by a white male. You know, even in the manifesto that this dude left behind, he was talking about if they want to keep a white race superior, they need to start eliminating some minorities and whatnot.
Okay, so
Typically the case.
So this is a statistic up to February 2022. 66% are white, 21% black, 10% Latino. And then it starts trickling down from there, basically.
Yeah, so the chances of this guy being white that were high to begin with, right? I mean,
Statistically.
we shouldn't have to play anything into it, but they want to play that narrative that it's, you know, a race, to start this kind of like back and forth again to just distract everybody, man. You know, like we're missing the boat on some real shit that's going on to everybody, not just whites or blacks. You know what I'm saying?
I sent you a picture, Window.
Yeah, I mean, it's to me, it's more of a mental crisis that we have here in America. You know, we have an opioid epidemic. People forget about that. People are hooked on drugs.
The one thing that is just still I'm not able to wrap my head around it is like, it's still like, even after giving all that explanation, Gij, and you guys are explaining all of that things to me, like, still relatively easy to get hold of these things and go at it, right?
Oh yeah.
And I'll say, as far as the gear, like I'd be a hypocrite to say that, like, I'm gonna show a picture here on the screen a second ago of the individual when he was being arrested and put into the cruiser, right? I'd be a hypocrite say that I don't even have that exact same gear here in my house. Yeah, I mean, like, the gear is relatively easy to get, you know?
That's what I'm
this
saying.
Is just a base,
So, like,
just this base outfit. Now I know I'm gonna interrupt you for a second. I can go, even in here in New York, I can go to military surplus stores and I can buy level 4 body armor, Kevlar vest. I can go buy one from a military surplus store. I can go buy a tactical helmet. You can order this stuff right online. Because there's people that actually do what they quote unquote reenactments or recreations, that they actually go through and they actually do militarized training. So you're able to easily get this stuff. But and that's what I mean. So once Windu shows up the picture, I mean, you'll be able to see, like, he's wearing generic stuff you can get from
like
mountain.
He doesn't look much different than a high school student that does JROTC, to be honest with you. Like the gear he's wearing is pretty normal to get.
Like, for me, to be honest, like, you see all these stores or anything like that, not even a single store, the information to the public is there for people to go and get it immediately, right? The only places you kind of get a tactical gear, I would say, when I put quotes, is because I'm saying that it's a very substandard shit, right? Which is not even considered as a tactical gear, but for general public, they would consider it as a tactical gear, is when you go paintballing, right? You go for paintballing or airsoft shooting. That's the only time you get those kind of shit. That's the only thing that you can get hold
A
of.
lot of people, yeah, they use it for paintball, airsoft. And I want to fix the one little thing on that statistic I mentioned earlier. What I was reading was not percentage. It was just actual number of incidents by race. And I'll even put it here on the screen. Not that it should matter, but it's 66 shootings have been white, 21 black, 10 Latino, and then it goes from there.
And in order for me to get these kind of, even an airsoft, like I wanted to buy an airsoft rifle, bro. I had to go fucking 2-3 hours down the fucking range where they do this airsoft shooting thing, right? Fuck that. First of all, that's way too much effort, right? Second of all, if you do order it, they first come down, they ask you for your ID, then they vet you with your neighbors, they question neighbors, then they need to ask you for witness. They'll ask for a witness if you're gonna be okay with it. Then you need to have a mental fucking analysis checked by the doctors to see if you're all right. Everything just for a fucking airsoft rifle, right? I'm
Bro,
saying.
I'll tell you that. You saying that is kind of wild because I was a 16-year-old that was able to buy an airsoft gun, and I would go on the weekends to a spot over in Orlando called Combat City where they literally took a golf course and turned it into mini military simulation with like rubber bullets, basically, that the whole public can join. But I was 16 and able to do that shit, you know?
There are only certain airsoft rifles that doesn't harm human beings, animals, and pets and everything that you can keep in the house. But if this airsoft is like in a different tier, I have to leave it at range. Even though I own that property, I have to leave it at the range, and I cannot bring it back home with me. Right? So I cannot bring it back home with me. I can't carry it around with me. It has to be left at home. Right? Left at the range, sorry. So that's what I'm saying. Like, all these things for me to get hold of, I have to go through 1,000 loops before I can even access it, right? And the chances of me even getting approved to have it is, I'm gonna be honest with you, is 60-40. 60 being you're not gonna get it, 40 being you might, right? And not only that, then you have to go and register with the police saying that I got this, so and so. You need to have a license for this. You need to have a license for that. You need to do all sorts of fucking shit. And it's like, it costs way too much money to go fucking through all that hassle than actually owning it.
Well, can we bring up an uncomfortable subject? Because I really do think that the reason why mass shootings have become so popular to talk about is because of the media push. I honestly do feel like the media push and how much attention these individuals get almost provokes more mass shootings to happen, because this guy wants that sort of fame and recognition also. He feels like a nobody. He wants to be remembered for doing something, you know?
It's like I think it was like few podcasts, like long time ago. Remember, I don't know if you remember it very well, but I spoke about it too. You see, when you give an individual who's fucked up in their brain and does these kind of crimes or commit these kind of crimes, the more focus you put on this individual, the other individuals rise up. Is they're like, yo, you know what? I can make a name for myself. My life is shit. Let me make a name for myself. I might as well be able to sell my story to the news articles. I might be able to sell the news story to the media out there, and I might be able to make money off of it.
Yeah, that whole everyone remember me shit.
Well, but here's the thing too:
they're never gonna go viral, you know?
But I'm reading something here
on the news.
That makes me think that this is just more to this, because it's here. I'm afraid to click this link, but it says 4 mass shootings in 6 hours, leave 38 wounded, 6 dead across the U.S. within this time period. So within 6 hours, there's something here saying that there's 4 mass shootings.
Like a coordinated thing, maybe.
Yeah. So that's what's making me wonder. Again, is this individual sick, or was this planned?
Okay, so let's do this.
I understand that.
Let's stop right there, because that's a juicy question. If you guys want to hear us talk about that more, leave it down in the comments below. Let us know what you think about the actual situation and whether you actually want to hear us dive deeper down this rabbit hole, so to speak, right? Or whether you'd like to hit other subjects. Leave it down in the comments. Make sure that you leave a like, Shout out to the homies for all being here. Make sure that you follow all of them. I'll include all their information below. But we appreciate you watching. Join the Discord too. We're going to have a link to the Discord so everybody can join. Give us feedback there also. But we appreciate all of you watching. Thank you so much. It's about an hour. We're going to cut it here. And we'll see you all next week. Much love, homies. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.